Good morning, everyone. As we gather here today, the world's largest climate change conference, COP, is going on in Belém in Brazil. And we know that a number of important leaders are not present there. And we know that certain countries are talking about withdrawing from the Paris Agreement. It clearly shows that climate change is sliding down our list of priorities. And at the same time, we see the impacts of climate change all around us. So what can we do? What if the solution to climate change is on our plates itself? And this is something which I'm going to be talking about, changing our dietary habits for a sustainable future. It has been one of the most difficult things to do over years, and this is something which a lot of us who have been plugging away in the sector find some change and still not some change. So let me start by referring to some facts. The global food system contributes over 1/3 of greenhouse gas emissions. And this is something which speakers ahead of me talked about. Animal-based diets consume significantly more land and water per kilogram and emit far more emissions than plant-based diets. The IPCC confirms that shifting to plant-rich diets is one of the most effective climate mitigation strategies, reducing emissions by up to 50% by 2050. So changing dietary habits is therefore one of the most important levers that we have to fight climate change. As a company, Agricorp is in the plant-based business. We are also in the legumes and the pulses business. We have a cheese brand in Singapore called Agri-Food, and we are building a plant-based facility in the Singapore, Malaysia, Johor Free Trade Zone in Johor Bahru. So this is how we are in the business that we believe in. I'm also the president of the Global Pulse Confederation, which was originally headquartered in France, but now is headquartered in in Dubai and in the US. GPC has been working on this cause since 1962. Let me share why pulses, lentils, chickpeas, beans are central to this transition. They are nutrient-dense, affordable, and climate-smart. According to the FAO, pulses provides 2 to 3 times more protein than cereals, plus essential minerals and vitamins. They enrich the soil through natural nitrogen fixation, reducing fertilizer use and improving soil health. What do we do as GPC? We are, of course, in the advocacy business. We partner with FAO and WHO to position pulses as the key to food security and climate resilience. In 2016, we worked with the UN to usher in 2016 as the year of the pulse internationally, and there was a lot of momentum going around talking about pulses being a climate change and climate mitigation solution. Since 2019, we have been celebrating with FAO something called the World Pulse Day, where we have a global outreach and we work in educating consumers the wonder of pulses. We've been participating in COP since 2028, highlighting pulses as a climate change solution. We work on consumer awareness with organizations like Beans Azao, Bang in Some Beans, and the School Meal Coalition. Let me also share with you some reports and what they mentioned. The Asia Food Challenge report released by Temasek, Rabobank, Oliver Wyman, and Lippincott, which was released last week, highlighted pulses as a water-efficient protein source, ideal for regions facing water scarcity, which a lot of Asia is grappling with. The Global Commission on the Economics of Water emphasizes animal-based foods, especially beef and dairy, have significantly higher blue and green water footprints. Green water, which is soil moisture used by plants, is often overlooked in policy. Pulses use it efficiently, helping restore balance in the hydrological cycle. The Global Commission on the Economics of Water therefore recommends shifting diets towards plant-based foods, supporting agroecological practices and crop diversification. In Europe, Denmark has led the way. It launched the world's first national action plan for plant-based foods in 2023. It aims to reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 31 to 45% through dietary shifts. It includes plant-based diets in school curricula, greener public food agreements, and alignment with official dietary guidelines. Recently, we as an organization participated at COP30 with Denmark on uniting farmers, NGOs, and politicians to promote plant-based diets. As GPC, we welcome other organizations and other governments to develop similar programs, which we are ready to support. Singapore and France are natural partners. Singapore is pioneering food and protein innovations. There are a number of labs based here. There is work being done at SIT and other organizations, some of which we are supporting. France, of course, brings expertise in agri-tech and sustainable agriculture, with its national pathway for sustainable food systems. Both countries are therefore collaborating in agri-food innovation and green transition. France's Roquette is a global leader in plant-based protein, with major R&D centers around the world and the Nutrilis range of pea proteins. I know that BPI supports some of the industry participants in France, as France is a substantial producer of pulses and legumes. What is therefore the call to action? One is to consumers: make pulses the regular part of your meals. Businesses: innovate with pulse-based products and sustainable sourcing. Companies like Tyson Food and others are using pulses as a tasty, low-cost ingredient in their meat offerings to reduce the carbon footprint. We are also calling on policymakers to incentivize plant-based diets and support pulse farmers, which are usually the marginal farmers in a number of countries, including countries in Africa. Singapore and France can lead by example, showing that sustainable eating is not a sacrifice, but an opportunity for health, innovation, and climate action. We are definitely not advocating one at the expense of the other, but including pulses in your diet and in your grocery cart is a powerful way to reduce your carbon footprint at the individual level. Thank you very much.